Alright, here is the image manipulation technique for threshold to quickly take an image and manipulate it so it could be silkscreened. So I have this image in my Photoshop here. It's a picture of this trail in the White Mountains. And I'm going to use a threshold technique to get it ready for print. So this image is really big, so this technique is going to work really well. 10 by 6 at 300 dpi. So I have my image. I'm going to copy my image. Just gonna create a new layer so that I can work on my image, and then I can also come back to the original and make future edits. So I'm going to come down to this little button down below, click threshold, and that takes a look at the image and makes everything either black or white based on the value of color in the image. And I can adjust the brightness and contrast of what that's doing with this slider on this histogram thing. For this, I'm going to do like a couple colors, make this like a 2-color print, 3-color print. So for this first part, I'm going to make this my darkest color of my print. So I want to grab some pieces that have good contrast. So maybe like right there. I'm going to make edits to this. So I like the way that this threshold is looking. So I'm just going to basically apply it to the photo. So I'm going to do that by clicking merge layers. So now the threshold is applied to that photo. And I'm going to remove all the white so that I can just work with the black and then make tweaks. So I'm going to do the same thing that we did before. Select color range highlights. It's going to give me all the white, and I'm going to delete it. So all I have here, you can see, is just the black. I have this color palette that I like from Adobe Color. I'm going to make this, like I said, the darkest color. So I'm going to go color overlay and then paste in the color. And I want to set up a background. It's pink, I think. So I just made a new layer, layer 2, selected the background color from Adobe Color, and then set it to my foreground color in Photoshop. And now I'm just going to paste it in. You can use the paint bucket to do that, but I use Alt backspace, and it just drops it, fills the whole layer. So, I mean, really, this is a 1-color print that it was this image of this photo, and I could burn this to a screen and print it on pink paper. It'd be cool. But I want to add a little bit more complexity to this image. So again, I'm going to copy the original photo. I do that by hitting Control J. You could also, like I did before, drag it to this new layer thing. So what I'm going to do is similar to what I did when I did select color range highlights. I'm going to do the same thing here. Select color range highlights on this photo. That's going to get me all of the highlights from this thing. And I'm going to copy that out onto a new layer. So I'm going to do Control J or Command J. So now that is all the highlights. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to threshold that. And something weird happens right here where this big drop off of this graph is, and it starts to create this shadow thing. So I'm going to keep it to the left of that. And I'm going to apply this by merge layers. And then I'm going to add this. Let's put this in front of my stuff here. I'm going to take this yellow color and do a color overlay here. So now I get that little bit of like depth with these back mountains. And it's cool. It's not amazing, but it's interesting. I almost feel like if I took this blue, that's crazy. I kind of like that better. And just for like completeness, I would probably just kill this top thing, like this yellow. So I just took a paintbrush and selected my yellow and put it on my yellow layer and just edited that out. For me, like, the magic of this is all this stuff in here, so I'd probably crop this out. But it's cool. I have a 3-color print that I made from this photo just by using threshold and tweaking some little selection things. I feel like working with Adobe Color in this way, and that, like, just seeing what you like in terms of the color and applying it to what you see in your threshold, it really is really a great tool. And using it can be really helpful to just kind of navigating what you're trying to do. But it's also good to just like play with stuff. So I'm using this color palette and I really like this, but I just clicked this. I just took off my color overlay and just checked out what it would look like with black. And there's just so much more contrast. It's really cool. This is cool in its own right, but like, you don't have to stick to anything, you know. So I'm just going to tweak this a little bit to get a little bit more contrast. Just because I like the way that black looked so much. And now there's like some space in between there. I feel like I like that more than that little blue things. So this is just something to add to your toolbox when you get into the process of designing for print.